Right now, a massive shift is quietly rearranging the entire landscape of global business. The world's biggest companies are all rushing to one specific place. And today, we're going to figure out exactly why this one city is becoming the world's new strategic command center. So here's the big question, right? Why are these huge household names like Costco, Mass Mutual, and Citizens Financial Group suddenly pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into massive new centers? Not in New York, not in London, but in Hyderabad, India. What is going on here?
Well, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to understand a fundamental change in how the world's biggest companies are working. It all comes down to a concept called the Global Capability Center, or GCC.
Now, let's be really clear here. A GCC is not just an outsourced call center. The key difference, the thing you have to get, is that it's an in-house unit. It's owned by the company. It's a core part of the company. These centers are built to handle mission-critical stuff, everything from engineering and data science to R&D. And this really shows you how much the game has changed. For years, the then was simple. You set up an office offshore to save money on back-office tasks. Simple. But that's not the game anymore. The now is all about creating value. It's about driving innovation and becoming a genuine brain trust for the entire global company.
And listen, this isn't some slow, far-off trend. Experts are predicting that by next year, these GCCs will be, quote, entirely distinct from what they used to be. They're taking the lead on AI development, on cybersecurity, on launching new products for the whole enterprise.
Okay, so if GCCs are the new powerhouses of global business, why is one country basically wearing the crown? Well, the trail leads directly to India, which has become the absolute undisputed world leader in this space. Just look at this number, 53%. Let that sink in for a second. More than half of every single global capability center on the planet is located in India. That's not just leadership. That is complete and utter dominance on a global scale. So you gotta ask, how did this happen? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is talent. A massive talent pool. Every single year, India produces over 1.5 million engineering graduates. In a world that's starving for tech skills, this is an incredible, renewable resource of smart people ready to do this high-level work. And all that brain power, it translates directly into enormous economic impact. By 2030, the revenue from India's GCCs is expected to blow past $100 billion a year. To put that into perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of countries like Slovakia or Kenya. This is a monster industry. Okay, so we know it's India, but now let's drill down even further to the city that's really at the heart of our story. Because while other cities are big players, Hyderabad is seeing an absolutely meteoric rise. For years, Bangalore was the undisputed king, no question. But the data shows a brand new story is being written. Look at Hyderabad. It surged past the entire national capital region to snatch the number 2 spot. And it's officially the fastest growing hub in the whole country. It's closing the gap, and fast. So what is Hyderabad's secret sauce? What's the magic formula that's making the world's biggest companies all flock to this one city? It boils down to this really powerful 5-part formula where each piece just makes the next one stronger. It starts with a top-tier talent pool coming out of elite universities. Then you've got amazing infrastructure, brand new tech parks, and world-class connectivity. Put those two together and you get serious cost efficiency. It's just cheaper to operate there. On top of that, you have proactive government support that basically rolls out the red carpet. And the end result of all that? A virtuous cycle. You get an innovation ecosystem, a critical mass of companies that creates this gravitational pull that's almost impossible to resist. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at the receipts. In just the last year or so, you've got Costco setting up its first ever tech and R&D center, period. Mass Mutual pouring over 1,000 crore rupees into a new digital hub. Citizens Financial Group building a new innovation center. The biggest companies on earth are voting with their wallets, and they're all choosing Hyderabad. Of course, a boom this big isn't happening in a corporate vacuum. It's sending out massive ripple effects across the entire economy, totally transforming the job market and the region itself. I mean, just look at the job creation here. The workforce in these GCCs is projected to grow by nearly 1 million people by 2030. And we're not talking about just any jobs. These are high-value, high-skill roles in things like AI and machine learning, with salaries that are often 15 to 20% higher than traditional IT jobs. And what's so interesting is that this isn't just a tech story. Yeah, IT is the biggest piece of the pie, but look at the other slices. You've got huge investments from banking and finance, healthcare and pharma, even manufacturing. That kind of diversity makes this trend incredibly robust. The impact on the ground is just staggering. Get this, more than half of the entire state's economic output, 54%, comes directly from the Hyderabad metro area. And it's being powered by this booming service sector. These GCCs are literally the engine of the whole region's economy. Now, it's important to have a balanced view, right? The state of Telangana is dealing with some real economic challenges, things like high public debt and a recent slowdown in the real estate market. But this is exactly where the GCC sector is so vital. It acts as a powerful economic stabilizer, an anchor, offering resilience and high-value jobs even when there are other pressures. So when you pull all the way back, what's happening in Hyderabad isn't just a local success story. It's a case study, a potential glimpse into the very future of global work. It's a model for combining talent, infrastructure, cost, and government support to create a magnet for strategic investment. Which really leaves us with one final big question. Is Hyderabad's growth model the new blueprint for the future of global work and talent acquisition?